seem subtle to the untrained eye, they carry immense power. They are like switches hidden deep within you, waiting to be flipped. The Egyptians had their own language for it. They believed that the heart wasn't just a blood-pumping organ, but a sacred seat of wisdom and energetic intelligence. They practiced heart-centered awareness, breathing in rhythms that aligned with the pulse of the cosmos. To them, the heart was a transmitter capable of receiving divine insight when in a state of balance and coherence. In Chinese medicine, this energy is called qi zhongwan divser. It moves through meridians, energy channels invisible to modern instruments, but felt by those attuned to their body's whispers. Practitioners of qigong or tai chi aren't just moving slowly, they're directing life force, refining it, and using it to cleanse stagnation, awaken awareness, and restore harmony. So what is this invisible muscle we're talking about? It's your awareness, but not the distracted, multitasking, mind-scattered type of awareness. This is deep awareness. Focused, grounded. The kind that turns inward, listens closely, and tunes into the subtle vibrations of your being. You activate it through presence. You strengthen it through intention. And you align it through practices that open the body, calm the mind, and ignite the soul. You don't need years of training. You don't need a guru. You need stillness, breath, willingness. Close your eyes. Feel your body from the inside out. Can you sense the gentle hum beneath your thoughts? That's your inner current. And when you place your attention there consistently, lovingly you begin to awaken. Start with breath. The breath is the bridge. Inhale slowly. Exhale even slower. Exhale even slower. Let your breath become your guide, your anchor. From there, explore micro movements, gentle engagements of the pelvic floor, the solar plexus, the heart center. These aren't random, they're energetic gates. When you apply intention and breath to them, you unlock flow. You awaken what some traditions call the kundalini, others, the serpent fire, or simply life force. The more you practice, the more you feel. The more you feel, the more your vibration shifts. And when your vibration rises, the outer world responds. People begin to feel your presence before you speak. Opportunities flow more naturally. Synchronicities appear with increasing frequency. You're no longer pushing against life. You're dancing with it. Not because life got easier, but because you're aligned. You've activated the deepest part of yourself. And that part is magnetic. It's wise. It remembers who you truly are, beyond the roles, beyond the noise. So the next time you walk into a room, pay attention. How does the space feel? How do you feel within it? What energy are you contributing? Because you're not just occupying space, you're influencing it. Your invisible muscle is real. It's ancient. It's waiting. And once you begin to strengthen it, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. You'll realize you've always had the key. You just needed to remember where to look. When you gently contract this area with intention and presence, something subtle yet powerful begins to happen. You initiate a current one that rises through your energetic channels like a spark traveling a divine wire. It doesn't just stay rooted, it climbs, it awakens. This act, simple on the surface, begins to align the body, mind, and spirit into a unified field. With breath as your ally, and stillness as your space, you start to feel a quiet hum, a deep awareness that wasn't there before. The energy rises, not with force, but with grace, nourishing every higher center it touches. Your heart becomes lighter, your thoughts clearer, your spirit steadier. Ancient texts spoke of this current as the river of life. Indigenous healers saw it as the thread of the Great Spirit. Yogis called it Shakti. Alchemists whispered of it as the fire hidden in the stone. It's not just myth, it's memory stored in the cells of your being. The modern world distracts us, constantly pulling our attention outward. But this muscle, this energetic gate, asks for inward attention. It doesn't respond to rush or chaos. It opens to reverence, to presence. And when it does, your entire perception begins to shift. Colors seem more vivid. Time flows differently. You begin to notice synchronicities, quiet signs, that you're no longer just reacting to life, but creating with it. Your frequency begins to magnetize what matches your new resonance: people, places, opportunities. It's not magic, it's alignment. You no longer feel like a leaf blown by the wind. You become the wind. From this place of grounded activation, your emotions stabilize. You stop being thrown by every external storm. You learn to feel deeply, without drowning. You find clarity in the midst of confusion, confidence in the middle of uncertainty. This invisible muscle is your foundation. It's the root of your power, not the kind of power that dominates or controls, but the quiet, unwavering kind, the kind that simply is tea. And as you awaken it more and more, something else happens. Your intuition sharpens. You start hearing that quiet inner voice more clearly, the one that knows what to do, where to go, what to let go of. The more you trust it, the louder it becomes. The more you listen, the stronger it grows. Eventually, you realize that your body has always known. The temple was never broken. The map was never lost. The gate was never locked. You simply hadn't turned the key, and that key has always been your awareness, your breath, your choice to be present in your own life. So now ask yourself, are you ready to return to that ancient temple within you? Are you willing to listen, to feel, to awaken? Because the moment you decide to activate that invisible muscle, everything begins to shift. You don't need to change the world around you. You need to change the frequency you bring to it. Your energy is your message. Your presence is your power. And the true journey doesn't begin outside. It begins deep within. Direct experience of the body, the breath, and the soul in alignment. This isn't something you memorize. It's something you become. When you contract that subtle space with intention, not strain, not tension, but awareness, you're sending a message to your entire system. It's time to awaken. The energy hears it. The cells respond. And the body, once a passive passenger, becomes a conscious vessel of transformation. Think of your body as a sacred instrument. Most people only ever play the surface notes. But by activating this center, you unlock the resonance chamber. Deeper tones emerge. Subtler harmonics rise. Life itself begins to sound different, feel different. And here's where the shift becomes undeniable. Your awareness expands not just inward, but outward. You start sensing things you used to miss, the emotions behind words, the energies between people, the messages carried by silence. This isn't imagination, it's perception sharpening. You begin to feel when someone's energy is fragmented, and when it's whole. You notice when a space feels light or heavy, without needing to explain why. You become more sensitive, not weaker but clearer, more intuitive, more alive, and with that clarity comes responsibility. Because now you know when you're off center. You feel when you've disconnected. You sense when your energy is leaking or stagnant, and just like that you have the tool to realign. It's always with you. No equipment needed, no chant, no external validation, just your breath, your awareness, and the choice to tune in. With practice, this subtle activation doesn't just influence your energy, it changes how you show up in the world. You stop reacting, you begin responding. You walk into rooms more grounded, speak with more weight, listen with more depth. Your presence shifts from passive to magnetic. And people notice not because of anything you say, but because of how you are detic, calm in chaos, rooted, while others wobble, awake while the world sleeps. This is the real essence of inner work, not loud, not flashy, but deeply, quietly transformative. Ancient mystics said that enlightenment isn't found on mountaintops. It's discovered in the body, breath by breath, moment by moment, through practices so subtle most overlook them. But those who do not, those who pay attention, who choose to feel instead of flee, they unlock a secret passage. And that passage always begins at the root. So ask yourself now, what would happen if you gave this invisible muscle just 5 minutes a day of focused, loving attention? What if you treated it as sacred as the gateway it truly is? You don't need a guru. You don't need a temple. You are the temple. You always have been. The mystery was never locked. You were simply never told where the key was hidden. Now you know, so take a breath. Close your eyes, gently engage the space within, and listen. The silence is speaking, in the quiet, consistent choices we make every day. That's where transformation truly lives. Begin simply, in the early morning. Before your phone calls your attention, sit in stillness. Place your awareness gently on that subtle space, the area at the base of your body, the energetic root. No need for strain, just presence. Breathe slowly. Let your exhale guide your awareness deeper inward. Now, with calm intention, lightly contract that space not as a task but as an invitation. Hold it. Release. Breathe. Repeat. This is not about intensity. It's about connection. As the days pass, you'll start to notice subtle shifts. A tension you've carried in your chest might soften. You'll hear yourself speak with more clarity. Feel your steps become more grounded. Small things like someone else's mood or the energy of a room will start to register differently. What once felt chaotic might now feel like something you can harmonize with. You're not just existing, you're tuning. Try it while walking. As your feet meet the ground, gently activate that core space. You'll feel more centered, more alive, or in conversation when emotions rise. Gently engage this energetic anchor. It helps you respond, not react. The more you practice, the more it integrates, like brushing your teeth, like breathing. You begin to realize that this isn't about mystical performance, it's about energetic hygiene. And when difficult emotions surface, as they will, don't run. Sit with them. Engage the inner lock. Breathe into the discomfort. Feel it loosen. What's rising isn't meant to break you. It's meant to be seen. Released. Transformed. This is the alchemy in action. As your practice deepens, you might notice synchronicities appearing, chance encounters, sudden clarity, inspired action. These are not coincidences. They're echoes of your inner alignment rippling outward. The world doesn't just react to your energy, it reflects it. This is the shift. You're not pushing life anymore, you're flowing with it. Not from weakness, but from anchored power. The kind of strength that moves mountains in silence, that heals without force, that draws without grasping. Now ask yourself, what would happen if you made this practice a part of your daily life, not once a week, but every morning, every evening, in the quiet spaces between your doing? How would your energy change? How would your relationships evolve? What kind of decisions would you make from a place of calm power, rather than fear or reaction? You already know the answer. This invisible muscle is your compass, your stabilizer, your ignition switch, and no one else can use it for you. You are both the instrument and the musician, the temple and the traveler, the spark and the flame. So take this knowledge, not as information to store, but as a practice to live. Start now. Close your eyes. Breathe. Engage the root gently. Feel the pulse of your energy align with the rhythm of the universe. And remember, transformation doesn't come with thunder. It comes with stillness. You don't need more noise to change your life. You need more presence.
Some poetic metaphor.
It's a real, tangible practice that can shape how you feel, think, and show up in the world. This energy center isn't about superstition. It's about alignment. It's about stepping into each moment with the awareness that your body is not just a machine, it's a frequency tuner, a transmitter, a sacred tool that can either be left dormant or awakened. So let's review, not to memorize, but to embody, micro-activation. The soft, gentle engagement of your root center, not tense, not strained, just present. Like a whisper only your soul hears. Conscious breathing. Deep, mindful breaths that turn your lungs into bellows of light. Inhale to draw energy up. Exhale to let it ripple out like waves from a stone dropped in still water. Elevated intention. You're not just moving a muscle. You're moving meaning. Think peace. Think love. Think expansion. Infuse your actions with qualities you want life to reflect back to you. Subtle signs. Energy speaks in quiet tones. Learn its language. The tingling in your spine, the warmth in your chest, that uncanny moment of intuition that saved you a wrong turn. Don't force it, just notice. And finally, gratitude. A moment of thankfulness anchors the practice in reverence. You're not just doing a technique. You're engaging with a mystery older than any religion, wiser than any book. All of this points to a simple truth. The sacred is not far away, it's within you. in your breath, in your focus, in a gentle activation you can carry into a meeting, a walk, or a quiet moment before bed. This invisible muscle is the gateway between the mundane and the divine. It doesn't ask for devotion in temples, it asks for attention in your daily life. No ceremony required, just presence, just honesty, just consistency. When you make this practice your own, something magical happens. The noise of the world becomes background. Your thoughts become clearer. The chaos loses its grip, because you are now centered in your own source. Aligned, awake, and as your energy shifts, the world around you begins to respond differently. People feel it even if they can't explain it. Animals relax near you. Conversations deepen. Synchronicities show up like breadcrumbs, guiding your path. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remember who you are. Energy first. Action second. Presence first. Power follows. This isn't a sprint. It's not a one-time spiritual high. It's a gentle unfolding. One contraction, one breath, one intention at a time. And through it, your life becomes a current of awareness, not a reaction to chaos. That's the gift. The invisible muscle isn't a fantasy. It's a forgotten truth. A truth waiting for someone, maybe you, to bring it back to life through practice, care, and deep remembering. So start now. Right now, breathe in. Gently activate your center. Exhale with intention. And walk through your day, knowing you carry the key. It's not just a metaphor or a piece of anatomy. It's the sacred threshold between the seen and unseen, between the physical world and the deeper energetic currents flowing just beneath the surface. We've explored how different cultures revered this center, how yogis called it Mula Bandha, how Egyptians honored it through the Jed pillar, how Taoists sealed the lower gates to preserve energy. All these ancient voices echoed one truth: within you lies a source of energy that once awakened becomes the spark for transformation. But this isn't just historical poetry, it's a living reality. Your body is wired to carry this energy. Your awareness is the switch, and this invisible muscle is the bridge. We've looked at how it works not just mechanically, but energetically. A gentle contraction, paired with breath and intention, and you begin to shift. Your thoughts become clearer. Your emotions soften. Your sense of presence deepens. What once felt like noise becomes harmony. These changes are real. They're not reserved for monks or mystics on mountaintops. They're available to anyone willing to listen, to try, to repeat. This muscle isn't about physical perfection. It's not about control. It's about conscious flow. It's the internal key to regulating your energy field, clearing emotional debris, and allowing your frequency to rise naturally. More than the technique, though, is the meaning behind it. Because every time you activate this subtle center, you're sending a message: I am here. I am awake. I am ready. And something listens. Your outer life begins to mirror your inner alignment. The chaos doesn't disappear, but your response does. You act instead of react. You speak instead of echo. You lead instead of follow. Because now you've remembered something ancient, that true power isn't loud. It's steady. It doesn't chase. It draws in. And this invisible center becomes the silent compass guiding your every step. So let it be a daily ritual, not something reserved for the perfect moment or spiritual retreat. No incense required. No robes or chants. Just breath. Just intention. Just presence. Whether you're walking to work, doing the dishes, or sitting under the stars, bring your awareness back to this center. Activate it gently. Breathe through it. Hold an elevated intention in your heart. This practice is a quiet revolution, because in a world constantly pulling your attention outward, it pulls you inward. It's a rebellion of softness. A return to essence. And over time, as you continue, something beautiful happens. You no longer try to raise your vibration. Your vibration raises you. Decisions get easier. People feel different around you. Time flows more smoothly. And even the setbacks feel like secret teachings. You've stopped fighting life. You've started flowing with it. Because now, your energy is aligned. And once you've tasted this inner balance, you'll never want to go back. So if this resonates with you, Don't let it become another idea that fades into the noise. Make it part of your rhythm, part of your morning, part of your still moments. And when it begins to change your life, and it will share it, because energy is contagious, and your light will remind others of their own. Remember, you don't need to see the entire path. You just need to activate the first step. This invisible muscle is the torch. Your breath is the flame. And your intention is the hand that holds it. Now ask yourself, are you ready to walk with it lit?